Alright, so picture this. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the man at the helm in Burkina Faso, just wrapped up a whirlwind 3-day tour of Bobo Dioulasso. Now, I know what you're thinking, politician goes on a trip, shakes some hands, kisses some babies, standard stuff, right? Well, hold your horses because this wasn't your average PR stunt. This trip was less about photo ops and more about dropping some serious, game-changing initiatives. We're talking about a significant injection of resources and a clear vision for boosting the Haut-Bassin region, which, let's be honest, could always use a bit of good news. And when I say significant, I mean it. This wasn't just a few symbolic gestures. Captain Traoré didn't just show up to cut ribbons, he was there to lay foundations, literally and figuratively, for projects that are set to redefine the economic landscape of the area. We're looking at billions of CFA francs being poured into agriculture, into industry, into the very future of the people there. This wasn't just a visit, it felt more like a strategic deployment of hope and opportunity, and you could feel the buzz in the air. The core of this whole endeavor, it's all about tangible benefits for the local economy and, crucially, for employment. Think about it. New factories, better farming tools, more support for local producers. This translates directly into jobs, into income, and into a stronger, more self-reliant community. So, stick with me as we unpack what went down because these aren't just headlines. They're lifelines for many, and a sign of some potentially very big things to come for Bobo Dioulasso and beyond. So, let's kick things off with a big one. Captain Traoré didn't just come bearing good wishes, he came bearing gifts. And not just any gifts. We're talking about a massive distribution of agro-pastoral and fishing equipment. Imagine Christmas morning, but instead of a new PlayStation, you get a tractor that can actually change your entire family's livelihood. The scale of this is pretty staggering. Equipment worth over 104 billion CFA francs. Now, I'm not great at math, but that sounds like A of zeros and a lot of potential. This isn't just about handing out tools, it's about empowering the very backbone of the local economy. The farmers, the herders, the fishermen. These aren't just shiny new toys either. This equipment is specifically chosen to address real needs. Think modern irrigation systems to combat unpredictable rains, better plows to increase yield, improved fishing gear to boost catches, and even support for livestock health. For the local producers, this is like going from dial-up internet to fiber optic overnight. It means more efficiency, less backbreaking labor, and ultimately, more food on the table and more income in their pockets. It's a direct investment in their ability to thrive, not just survive, which is a distinction that matters a whole lot. And that 104 billion CFA francs, let's just pause on that number for a second. It's easy for figures like that to become abstract, just digits on a page. But try to visualize what that represents. A serious commitment, a national-level investment saying, we believe in you, and we're putting our money where our mouth is. This isn't a small-scale pilot program, this is a full-blown effort to upgrade an entire sector. It's the kind of move that signals a real strategic shift, a recognition that true development starts from the ground up, with the people who cultivate the land and harvest its bounty. The brief mentions this will benefit local producers immensely, and immensely is the right word. This isn't just a slight uptick in production, this is about creating resilience. It's about enabling communities to better withstand economic shocks, to improve food security not just for their families, but for the entire region. When farmers and fishermen do better, everyone does better. Supermarkets have more local produce, prices can stabilize, and the entire food supply chain gets stronger. It's a ripple effect that can transform the economic fabric of the Haut-Bassin region. Ultimately, this distribution of equipment is more than just a handout. It's a strategic move towards greater self-sufficiency and economic sovereignty. By equipping its producers with the tools they need to succeed, Burkina Faso is investing in its own capacity to feed itself, to create wealth locally, and to reduce its reliance on imports. It's a powerful statement about the importance of the agricultural sector and the people who dedicate their lives to it. This is nation building, one tractor, one fishing net, one empowered producer at a time. It's practical, it's impactful, and frankly, it's pretty smart. Next up on Captain Traoré's agenda, a trip to Penny. Now, Penny might not be a household name for everyone, but it's about to become a key player in the cashew game. Because here the captain wasn't just making speeches, he was laying the foundation stone for a brand new cashew processing plant. Yes, cashews. Those delicious curly nuts that we all love. Turns out they're a pretty big deal for the local economy, and this new plant is set to take things to a whole new level. This isn't just about growing cashews anymore, it's about processing them right there, adding value, and keeping more of the profits within the community. Laying a foundation stone might seem like a purely symbolic act, a bit of ceremony for the cameras. But in this context, it's so much more. It's a concrete promise, literally. It signifies the start of a major project, a commitment to seeing it through, and a beacon of future employment and economic activity. Imagine the local community in Penny, watching this happen. It's not just a building going up, it's a future going up, brick by brick. And Captain Traoré being there himself, that sends a powerful message of support from the highest level. Now let's talk numbers because they tell a pretty compelling story. This cashew processing plant comes with a price tag of 6.6 billion CFA francs. That's a serious investment. And what does that investment buy? A facility capable of processing 5,000 tons of cashews per year. 5 tons! That's a mountain of cashews, people. This isn't a small-time operation. This is industrial-scale processing, designed to make a real dent in the market and provide a stable outlet for local cashew farmers. It means their hard work won't just end at the farm gate. But here's the part that gets really exciting. Jobs. This plant is projected to create 112 direct jobs. These are the people working in the factory, sorting, shelling, roasting, packaging. Good, stable jobs with regular incomes. But wait, there's more. It's also expected to generate around 1,050 indirect jobs. Think about that. That's the farmers who supply the cashews, the transporters who bring them to the plant, the people who provide services to the factory workers, the small businesses that spring up around a thriving industry. It's an entire ecosystem of employment. And finally, let's consider the bigger picture value addition. For too long, many African countries have exported raw commodities, only to buy back the finished products at a much higher price. This plant flips that script. By processing the cashews locally, Burkina Faso captures more of the value chain. This means higher export revenues, development of new skills within the workforce, and a boost to the national economy. It's about moving up the economic ladder, one delicious cashew at a time. This Peony project isn't just nuts, it's genius. Alright, from cashews we move to cows. Well, not just cows, but all sorts of livestock. Captain Traoré's tour also took him to Samandani, and the project launched there is a real game-changer for anyone involved in animal husbandry. They've officially kicked off the construction of a veterinary drug production unit. Now, this might not sound as immediately glamorous as a cashew plant, but trust me, for a country where agriculture and livestock are so vital, this is huge. We're talking about safeguarding the health of millions of animals, which in turn safeguards the livelihoods of millions of people. Think about the impact of animal diseases in an agro-pastoral economy. It can be devastating. A sick herd can wipe out a family's entire savings, disrupt food supplies, and undermine years of hard work. So, having a local source of veterinary drugs, especially vaccines, is incredibly important. This new unit in Samandani is designed to have a production capacity of 110 million doses of vaccines per year. Let that sink in, 110 doses. That's enough to make a serious impact on animal health across the entire nation, and potentially even beyond. This isn't a small undertaking either. The project comes with a cost of 21 billion CFA francs. Again, we're seeing these massive figures, underscoring the strategic importance being placed on these foundational sectors. Investing in animal health is investing in food security, it's investing in economic stability for rural communities, and it's investing in the overall resilience of the agricultural sector. It's a proactive step, rather than a reactive one, aiming to prevent widespread outbreaks and ensure healthier, more productive livestock for everyone. One of the most significant aspects of this project is the move towards self-sufficiency in veterinary medicine. Relying on imported drugs can be expensive, subject to global supply chain disruptions, and sometimes the specific needs of local livestock breeds might not be perfectly met. By producing vaccines locally, Burkina Faso can ensure a more stable supply, potentially at a lower cost, and tailor the products to the specific epidemiological challenges faced in the region. This also means developing local expertise in pharmaceutical production, which is another valuable skill set for the nation. The ripple effects of this veterinary drug production unit will be far-reaching. Healthier livestock means higher yields of meat and milk, better quality animal products, and reduced losses for farmers. This translates into more stable incomes, improved nutrition for families, and a stronger agricultural economy overall. It can also open up new opportunities for exporting livestock products, knowing they meet high health standards. So, while it might be about vaccines for animals, it's ultimately about a healthier future for the people of Burkina Faso. This is a shot in the arm for the entire nation, quite literally. So, after all that, the billions invested, the foundation stones laid, the equipment distributed, what's the big takeaway from Captain Traoré's trip to Bobo Dioulasso? Well, it's clear this was far more than just a symbolic tour. The initiatives launched are poised to have a profoundly positive and, importantly, impact on the local community and its economy. We're talking about a significant boost in agricultural productivity, the creation of hundreds, even thousands of direct and indirect jobs through new industries like cashew processing and a stronger, more self-reliant animal health sector. This is development in action. These projects aren't just abstract economic indicators. They represent real change in people's lives. Imagine a farmer who can now afford to send their children to school because of increased yields from new equipment, or a young person in Pini getting their first stable job at the cashew plant, or a herder who no longer lives in constant fear of losing their livestock to preventable diseases. This is about fostering hope, creating opportunities, and empowering communities to build a more prosperous future for themselves from the ground up. It's about strengthening the fabric of society. Ultimately, Captain Traoré's initiatives in Bobo Dioulasso serve as a powerful reminder of what's possible when vision is backed by concrete action and investment. These aren't just isolated projects, they're building blocks for a stronger, more resilient, and more self-sufficient Burkina Faso. In a world facing so many challenges, seeing this kind of focused effort on grassroots development is genuinely inspiring. It underscores the critical importance of such initiatives not just for today but for laying the foundation for generations to come. It's a big step, and hopefully, one of many more to follow.